up, guys? I am filming this video today from SSAH Fit Lab, which is one of the gyms that I work at. I teach here a couple times a week. You are always more than welcome to check out my schedule and join me in class. But today, I thought this would be the perfect location for this next little video I wanted to give to you. So we are going to be working on legs up the wall and a couple of stretches and variations you can do using the wall to support you. So as you can see, this beautiful gym has this big long wall with nothing but room for us to play against. So I know this is a little different of an angle than we're typically taking, but I wanted to give you that side or profile view so that you can really see what's happening as we get our bodies against the wall. Now, if you've done this in class with me before, you know that this is not a very cute position to get into, but I promise it feels really, really good once you're there, and the health benefits and everything that have to do with legs up the wall are so worth it. So take a moment, clear some space if you can. Also, I tend to do these at home. I don't have a headboard over my bed. So I will get all the way to the top of my bed and use the wall to do them there as well. If that's an option for you, I highly recommend it. Just place a couple pillows underneath your tailbone to help keep you a little supported. We're gonna go ahead and dive right in. So what you have to do is you have to start with your side to the wall and scoot your booty up as close as you can get it. And then we're gonna start to swing our legs up and over and lay our spine down. Send your toes high. So in a perfect world, we want ourselves flush up against the wall. So there shouldn't be any space between our cheeks and the wall. And we want our spine nice and straight along the floor. So we don't have any curve, any lift, anything going on. So you'll probably have to wiggle and adjust a little bit to get here. You might have to wiggle and adjust a little bit throughout this sequence, and that's okay. So from here, the first thing we're gonna do is just take our right knee and draw it into our chest. You can place that right sole of the foot against the wall to give yourself a little leverage or a little support. Just hug it in nice and tight. Good. We're gonna take 4 full rounds of breath. One more. From here, we're going to find a half happy baby. So we're going to keep this right knee bent, but send our sole of the foot to the ceiling. Take your knee wider than your armpit, and either draw that knee down past your armpit. So I'm going to show you with your left foot. So you can either draw this knee down past your armpit, holding behind your thigh, or reach up for the outside edge of your foot. Try to drive your heel high to the ceiling as you pull down with your arm, almost like you're trying to get this knee to touch the mat beside you. And again, we're gonna hold this for 4 rounds of breath. This opposite hand can rest on your body. It might be a good idea to place it on your left hip to remind that hip to stay down to the mat. Or you can come wide or up overhead. One more breath right here. Good. We're going to take this same right ankle, let it cross over our left knee, so we're coming for a pigeon pose. And then actively press this right knee away from you. So you're making a nice deep triangle in your legs. Take 2 more rounds of breath right here. One more. Good, go ahead and release that active push. We're gonna take a little deeper of a pigeon, so your booty's probably gonna lift up off the mat, and that's okay. We're gonna start to bend that left sole of foot. So, the more we bend this left knee, get that left foot down to the mat, the deeper you're gonna feel this stretch through your right hip. So be sure to give a little flex in this right foot. And then think about finding that force. So it's okay if our booty lifts, but we do want to resist it just a little bit. It's going to deepen your stretch. If it's too much, scoot your toes up a little higher. Any amount is good. There's no wrong answers here. We really want this to be a restorative session today. So we're not trying to push ourselves to our limit. We're just using the wall to help us achieve a little deeper stretch in some spaces in our low body. Take 1 more round of breath right here. Good, let this left heel come back up. Let your right leg meet it, and then windshield wiper with your ankles or circle through. We'll take our opposite side, so we're gonna hug your left knee in. Maybe put that foot on the wall. You might find you need to scooch back in just a little bit, especially after that pigeon, after we move through our spine a bit. And give yourself 3 more deep breaths right here. We'll take 1 more. Good, we're gonna find that half happy baby, so keeping knee bent, send your sole of the foot high. Draw that knee wider than your armpit and either hold behind your thigh or around the outside edge of your foot. This right hand can come to your hip, help press it down. If this is still a little much for you here too, you can always take a belt or a strap around this left foot and pull down with your strap. Just give yourself a little more space in your shoulders and a little more room to wiggle in this hip. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath. One more. Good, now we're gonna take this left ankle, cross it over your right knee, and actively press that left knee away. So we've got a little bit of resistance built up in this shoulder and this arm, but try not to let that manifest in your jaw. Try not to clench or furrow your eyebrows. And let your breath fall deep down to your diaphragm. And take 1 more round of breath. Good, we're gonna release that resistance. Start to bend our right knee. Whew. You can see I am way tighter on this left side. So I am gonna release that just a little bit. I know I am feeling this stretch all the way from the back of this knee down my hamstring and into my hip, my IT band, my sciatic nerve. kinds of stuff in there, getting a nice deep stretch. We're going to take 3 more rounds of breath. One more. Good. Stretch your right leg long. Let your left leg meet it. Wiggle or shake or adjust however you need. We're going to find a bound ankle or butterfly or cobbler's pose here. So we're going to let knees press wide. Soles of the feet come to touch, and that outside edge of your foot is against the wall. Again, you've still got that nice long flat spine. And if you want, again, you can actively press your knees away into the wall. Try to let this strength come from your arms, not from your throat, not from your jaw. And if it's too much today, don't do it. Just let gravity do all the work here for you. Let the wall do all of this support and stretch here for you. Give yourself 2 more rounds of breath. One more. Good. We'll release those knees, hug them back into your chest. Almost like you're doing a child's pose, but on your back. And then we'll let our legs come long. We're going to take a supported straddle split right here. So let your ankles fall wide. Good. My younger days in my dance classes, we called these gravity splits. We would stay here for several minutes, sometimes wearing ankle weights or with dumbbells resting on our thighs, forcing that stretch in. I promise not to do that to you today. We're going to be here for a few rounds of breath. But you will probably notice that with our exhales, your heels will fall a little closer to the floor. Again, let that breath fall deep down to your pelvis, your belly button. Your arms can stay on your body or open wide, or they can make a cactus shape, or they can reach up overhead. We're going to take 5 more rounds of breath, just like this. Good. We're going to move from this straddle split to a twist. So we're going to bring our arms out wide like a T. We're going to keep this left leg where it is as we draw our right heel straight up and down like hands of a clock. You'll notice that left heel falls a little deeper. And then we're going to let this right toe meet it. Good. So our goal is to keep your booty flush against the mat. And keep your shoulder blade, or your booty flush against the wall, and keep your shoulder blades flush against the mat. This is also going to be a nice deep stretch along the outside edge of your hip, maybe even into your calves. If you want to add your neck into the mix, go ahead and turn your head to look over your right shoulder. If you're here and you feel really great, take your right toes or your top toes and see if you can reach them with that left hand. So we're gripping onto the bottom of that foot. If that's too much, don't do it. Keep your ankles stacked. Maybe play with it, see where you land today. Take 3 more rounds of breath. Good, we'll release those toes if we've got them caught. Draw your right heel back to center. Let your left ankle meet it. Let your right leg fall wide to the side. We're just reversing this twist. And then as you're ready, left leg stacks on top. Wiggle or adjust through shoulders if you need. Maybe turn your gaze over left shoulder. If you want it, send your left toes up to right hand so we find that grip and that bind. It's going to deepen our stretch through the back of your knee and through your calf as well. Give yourself 4 more rounds of breath. Good, we're gonna reverse out, so let go of those toes. Send your left heel up, and then your right. Scooch in a little closer if you need it. We're gonna take a supported shoulder stand here at the wall, and then we'll rest and recline right into this legs up the wall. So we're gonna bring knees to bend again, soles of the feet flat against the wall. Arms can come down beside you. And then on your inhale, start to lift your hips. This might be as far as you get, totally fine. You want to come a little further, walk those feet up a little higher, lift your hips a little higher. You can just keep doing that until you feel good. I would try to keep a nice bend in your knees, soles of the feet on the wall. Notice that nice 90-degree angle through my knees. If you feel really strong in your shoulder stand, you can bring palms underneath you, maybe take one leg high. And lower it down. Take your other leg high. So use these hands to help support your low spine. And lower it down. Take one more round of breath. And we're gonna roll down slow motion. Perfect. Let your legs extend long. We're gonna take this final pose for 10 deep breaths. So relax through your toes, relax through your knees. I like to let my hands rest on my body and legs up the wall. But again, you can come wide or low V if that feels good. Think about giving yourself a nice long back of your neck. So our chins touch just slightly. We feel that roundest part of your skull against the mat or against the floor. If you like, you can close your eyes down. And just notice that release in your low spine. We allow our heart to work a little less hard in this position. It doesn't have to pump as hard to get blood to all of our limbs. Also helps ease our nervous system. You suffer from anxiety or stress, this is a really great pose to come to. Just giving yourself 10 or 20 rounds of breath right here. And we'll take 5 more. Welcome to stay just like this for as long as you like. If you're ready, go ahead and give a little wiggle to your toes. Stretch your arms out long. And then hug your knees back into your chest nice and tight. Slowly and steadily roll to one side. And come on up to a seat. Beautiful. Hopefully, guys, you are feeling really great through your low spine, through your hips and your legs. I absolutely love drawing my practice to the wall when I can. I think it's a great prop that every single one of us has and every single one of us can utilize. So leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel. If you have any questions, if you want a little more or less of something in the future, I cannot wait to hear from you. Namaste.